The 8th of April, 2018, Patrick Reed wins the Masters. He's standing on the 18th green at Augusta National, green jacket waiting. The biggest title in golf, his for the taking. And 3 miles away, in a house just down the road from the course, his parents and his sister are watching it on TV because Patrick Reed didn't invite them. His own family, living in the same city where he just won the Masters, found out the same way the rest of the world did. That detail is strange enough on its own, but it only makes sense when you go back to the beginning, to what people were saying about Patrick Reed long before he ever won anything. Because some people knew exactly who he was. They told anyone who would listen, and the golf world decided not to listen. Reed arrived at the University of Georgia at 17 years old. Immediately, his teammates couldn't stand him. He was blunt, combative, and obsessed with winning, to the point that it made the people around him uncomfortable. He didn't make friends. He didn't try to. He lasted 1 season. The official reason he was kicked off the UGA team is said to be 2 alcohol-related violations. That part Reed has confirmed himself. But according to journalist Shane Ryan, who reported on Reed extensively for his book, the alcohol incidents weren't the whole story. According to multiple teammates and sources, Reed was also suspected of cheating during a qualifying round. That same fall, items went missing from the locker room: a putter, a watch, $400 in cash. The next day, Reed showed up with a large wad of money. He said he'd won it hustling a professor. When a teammate tracked down the professor and asked, the professor said he hadn't played Reed in weeks. Reed denied all of it. He still does. So he transferred to Augusta State. Fresh start, new team. Coach Josh Gregory took him in knowing exactly what he was getting. His message to Reed on day 1 was simple: keep your mouth shut and play golf, and let your golf clubs do the talking. Needless to say, that didn't last. Reed was flagged for shaving strokes in not 1 but 2 separate qualifying rounds. The team sat him down and went through both rounds hole by hole, shot by shot. The numbers didn't add up, and everyone in that room knew it. His teammates told him they'd actually respect him more if he just came clean. He didn't. He got angry instead. And the teammate he turned on most aggressively, described by everyone there as the nicest guy on the squad? The team then took a unanimous vote. They wanted him gone. But Coach Gregory overruled them. Reed got a 2-event suspension and stayed on the roster. And then, this is the part that really sticks with you. Before the final of Reed's last college match, the national championship, a group of his own Augusta State teammates walked over to their opponents and told them, "We want to win the national title, but we hope you kick the shit out of Patrick Reed." His own team, rooting against him. Reed won anyway. Augusta State took back-to-back national titles, and in 2011, he turned pro. But those warnings, from his own teammates, the people who had played alongside him every day, didn't follow him out the door. The golf world gave him a clean slate. For a while, that looked like the right call. Reed won his first PGA Tour title in 2013. By 2014, he'd won a WGC event and declared, at 23 years old, that he deserved to be considered one of the top 5 players in the world. People laughed at the audacity. And then came the Ryder Cup. At Gleneagles in 2014, he put his finger to his lips and shushed an entire crowd of European fans. 2 years later at Hazeltine, he went head-to-head with Rory McIlroy in Sunday singles. They traded birdies, fist pumps, and raw emotion for 18 holes. Reed won 1 up, and he was nicknamed Captain America. When he won the Masters in 2018, his playing partner was Rory McIlroy, who had told the press the night before that all the pressure was on Reed. Reed said afterward that was exactly what he wanted to hear. The college story was still out there. Shane Ryan's book had been published 3 years earlier, but a green jacket tends to quiet a lot of conversations. The golf world had made its judgment. Whatever happened in college, the man could play, so move on. His college teammates had a different view, but nobody was asking them anymore. What happened next didn't come from a book. Nobody was relying on anonymous sources or decade-old locker room stories. It happened on camera. October 2018. The Ryder Cup is over. The Americans lost, badly. And Reed sits down with the New York Times and publicly goes after Captain Jim Furyk for sitting him twice, and implies that Jordan Spieth didn't want to play with him. Brooks Koepka later revealed Reed sent the whole squad an apology over group text. That was just the start. December 2019. Reed is leading the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas, going into the third round. On the 11th hole, his ball finds a waste bunker. He takes 2 practice swings. Both of them visibly drag sand from behind the ball, not once, but twice, clear as day on camera. He plays the shot, finishes the round, and is called in afterward to watch the replay with a rules official. It led to a 2-stroke penalty, and his lead was gone. His explanation? He didn't feel the club drag. He thought he was far enough away from the ball. And besides, if the cameras had been positioned from a different angle, he said, they would have seen he wasn't improving his lie. But the replays were clear, and nobody bought his justification. When Brooks Koepka was asked if he thought Reed was cheating, his answer was this: yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, building sandcastles in the sand, but you know where your club is. Then a video surfaces of Reed appearing to do the exact same thing at the same tournament 5 years earlier. And Reed's lawyers respond by sending letters to media outlets instructing them not to use the word cheating. 15 months after that, at the 2021 Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines, Reed hits his approach into the rough. TV cameras catch the ball bouncing before it settles. Reed picks it up before a rules official even arrives, tells the official and his playing partners that nobody saw it bounce, and gets a free drop. Then he makes the putt and wins the tournament by 5 shots. Think about that for a second. The cameras saw it bounce. His playing partners, standing right there, apparently didn't. And once again, Reed gets the benefit of the doubt. 3 incidents, 3 explanations, and every single time it wasn't intentional. The camera angle was misleading, and anyone who kept saying otherwise would be hearing from his legal team. And then, in 2022, Reed took the legal threats he'd been making for years and actually followed through. He filed a $750 million defamation lawsuit against Brandel Chambly, Golf Channel, Golf Week, and 14 other journalists and media organizations. He later expanded the litigation to nearly $1 billion in combined damages, claiming the defendants had conspired with the PGA Tour to destroy his reputation since he was 23 years old. $1 billion against 18 media defendants for saying what was on camera. In September 2023, a federal judge dismissed both lawsuits with prejudice, meaning Reed couldn't refile them. The court found he'd failed to show a single defendant had acted with actual malice. The dismissal was upheld again on appeal in 2025. It was the same playbook he'd used in 2015 when he demanded a retraction from Shane Ryan's publisher and threatened legal action. That time too, nothing came of it. Here's what's worth sitting with. The teammates who raised the alarm in college weren't trying to end Reed's career. Most of them were on the same team that won national titles with him. They knew what he was capable of on a golf course. They just also knew what they'd seen up close. Patrick Reed is a Masters champion. He won 9 times on the PGA Tour. His Ryder Cup record is genuinely exceptional. The talent was never in question. It was never what anyone was warning about. What they were warning us about was something else. A willingness to bend the rules when it suited him. A pattern of turning on the people around him when things went wrong. A refusal to accept accountability that was so consistent it stopped looking like defensiveness and started looking like something more deliberate. The golf world gave him the benefit of the doubt because his golf was good enough to earn it. And then, on the biggest stages in the sport, with cameras rolling and officials watching, Reed gave everyone a reason to remember what those teammates said in the first place. They weren't trying to be vindictive, they just knew. It just took everyone else a decade to catch up.